Hi everyone, in this final video we'll tackle a case study on the healthcare dataset. So all of things that you have learned up until now, all the data filtering, all the knowledge on the calculated fields, all the knowledge on parameters and dashboarding and all the formatting you learned on dashboarding will come in very handy on this, because in this video we'll take from the first video till the last video all of the steps to get to a desirable output. Now make sure that you have reviewed the course again and again to have your skills up to a certain extent that you feel comfortable with the data and comfortable with the tool in Tableau. In the initial part of the session, we'll talk about the healthcare case study, the data that we have, the columns that we have in the data, and the visualizations we are expected to make in Tableau. Once that is done, we'll open up the demo and start working on a Tableau dashboard. So let's focus now on the PPT. Our main agenda today would be on healthcare case study info. And once that information is provided to you, we'll quickly jump to the demo and start performing the instructions provided so that you have a helping hand while you solve it on your own. Just note, we'll be giving an overlay and an information on how to create these visualizations, but you will have to experiment on your side so that you gain knowledge as to there are multiple ways to create a visualization. Maybe you feel another visualization fits better. Don't be afraid to try that out, as many times exploration is something that is desirable in any developer. So explore, and with that, let's get started with the case study information. So this is a case study for a company called Apollo Max. It's a leading pharmaceutical company and oversees the distribution of its drugs through multiple wholesale distributors. So the data is centered around wholesale distributions. To optimize the performance of its sales team, Apollo Max seeks to conduct a comprehensive analysis of its sales data. So the data you have is of sales and it is centered around wholesale distributors. I hope that is very clear. The objective is to generate a high-level report that highlights overall sales figures and key performance indicators, also known as KPIs in the industry, providing a clear overview of the sales team effectiveness and areas for improvement. So whatever analysis you do, we want to highlight overall sales figures. So the sales related KPIs will be highlighted, and we should also show an overview of team's effectiveness and their areas for improvement. So basically, it should be centered around sales and where the sales team are moving now. Okay, moving ahead. This is the dataset information that is provided. Number of rows are 254,000, 18 columns. The main columns here are distributor. As I mentioned, the data is centered around a distributor. It's a wholesale distributor sales data. So the column is distributor, customer name, who is buying, city, country, location of the customer. Lat long will help us draw a map in Tableau so that you can look at the geographical countries that the data is provided for. Channel, what is the channel the drug was distributed in? The sub-channel, the subcategory of the channel which we just talked about. The product name, which product was sold. Product class, which class of the product was it? Was it an analgesic or something else? Right? There are multiple classes of pharmaceutical products, and there are multiple teams selling multiple classes. So you will have an opportunity to see which team is selling which class of drugs better than the other. And we do have a visualization for that as well. Similarly, quantity, price, sales, month of the sale, year of the sale, so that you can make some visualizations on a monthly level or on a yearly level, your choice. Then name of the sales rep, which sales rep made the sales, so that if you want to see who are the top performing sales rep, you can create that visualization. Then manager of the sales team. Manager of the sales team is the one who we would like to track and see which manager is performing well, because if the manager is performing well, that means the sales team is performing well. These are correlated metrics. And of course the sales team name. So the latter end of the columns relate more towards the sales team, the name, manager, when the sale happened, year, month, and the former end of the columns are related to the wholesale distribution, the product class, the product name, etc. So before we move ahead from here, open up the CSV file at your end, look through these columns, try to absorb the data and understand it so that once you open Tableau and once you start making visualizations, you don't have an ounce of a doubt before even moving your hands on the mouse or on the touchpad to work. Having knowledge about the data is of utmost importance in any industry, let alone healthcare, because the more you understand data, the more you will be able to derive insights once the visualization is in front of you. With that, we move to the next slide and we'll have to do a demo from now on. Before we move to the demo, as always in every video, we tell the objectives, right? Now we don't have an objective. The objective is to finish the case study, but we have key metrics of analysis. To finish this case study, you have to analyze 5 key metrics. And if you want something else more than 5 these, your choice. Go ahead and create more visualizations so that we can add them in the dashboard later. And even you can add them in the dashboard later as per your choice. So the 5 key metrics of analysis that we expect you should add in your dashboard are as follows. Sales by product category. The product category, the product class, if you remember the column, you need to know what are the sales by product category so that you can see in your data and aggregate that number and create a chart out of it. Sales flow analysis, sales by channel and sub channel. What amount of sales are going through one channel and how they're distributing through its sub channels. You can create a graph out of it or a visualization out of it and then add it to the dashboard. When I say add it to the dashboard, it's a given because all of the metrics at the end have to flow into a dashboard for any CXO or any manager to review, right? Then demographic analysis. Since we have lat long in the data, by lat long I mean latitude and longitude, we should utilize that and create a region-wise chart and add sales numbers to that region chart. So that will be one part of it. Then sales performance by manager. Manager, if is performing well, that means the sales team is performing well. It's correlated. So if we have 4 to 5 or 6, 7 managers, which manager is performing well? Which manager is not performing well? Do we need to do something about that? A visualization will surely help in that matter. Then sales by sales team and product class. Since we have name of the sales team as the last variable in the data set, we can use that to see which sales team is performing the best and in which product class they are performing the best, right? If you think about it, there are many variables which can work in many ways possible. Product class, the sales going on. Sales by manager, which manager is performing better sales. Then which sales team is performing? Maybe there is only one sales team driving the growth for one of the managers. Maybe there are multiple sales teams doing above average sales. The scope of visualizations here is endless, and I encourage you to explore as many possibilities as you want. These 5 metrics of analysis are just a starting point to get you hands-on on Tableau. If you want any other metrics, please write them down and create a dashboard of your own. With that, we'll move to the demo. Up until now, if you have any doubt in the course on the data filtering, calculation fields, types of graphs, creating a parameter, or in dashboarding, please go back and watch those videos again so that you are clear in how to proceed and you have clear conceptual clarity. Once you are sure that you are ready to move ahead, then start with the case study and move ahead with confidence. With that, we move to the Tableau screen. Now you can see on my screen that I'm on a fresh new Tableau. I have taken the liberty of naming the tabs because we won't be able to jump back and forth to the PowerPoint slide. So we have to create 5 key metrics: sales by product category, sales by channel, sales by region, manager performance, and sales team performance. I have also loaded the data set that you will get in your folder. So this Tableau is ready to go, right? So first graph you want to create is sales by product category. Here we have a column called product class. We'll add that in the columns and we'll add sales in the rows. The moment I add that, I see that analgesics, antibiotics, there are sales here in millions, right? When you load it, it won't be in the millions. You have to right click on it, go to format and go to fields, sum of sales. Don't click on the axis, but click on the panes. And here you have to change automatic to a number custom. It is important because if you keep it as automatic, you'll see there's a huge number which doesn't really help you or help the user at all. So you go to the pane, go to the numbers, number custom. You don't want any decimal, or you can keep it as number custom, decimal 0, display units millions. That way you can see it rounds off, adds millions to the numerical number, and now you can clearly see what kind of sales we have by product class. So the first chart is more likely done. If you want to customize it, add some colors, you can do that, but I recommend this is the base what you should follow. Now sales by channel, our second key metric. Channel. Okay, let's close the formatting pane. We'll have the channel. Yeah, here's the channel. We go to the columns and we add sum of sales in the rows, and we see that we have two channels, hospital and pharmacy. And here also the formatting of millions has been applied. I see there is two decimal places here. Let's remove that. So to do that, I'll right click, move to format. I'll actually click outside again. I'll right click here, move to format so that it does for the entire set. On the formatting pane, click on sum of sales, go to the pane, numbers, number custom, remove the decimal to the 0, shift from automatic to number custom, and in display units, move to millions. Once you do that, here you have channel sales. But is this good enough? I don't think so. If we are exploring sales by channel, let's go one level deeper. We have a sub channel, right? It'll hardly take us 20 seconds to add that. So let's just do that. We added sub channel and we can see both channels. Now in hospital, we can divide the sales into government and private, and similarly in pharmacy, we can divide into institutional and retail. The color is same, but we are using 2 levels deeper. We are going 2 levels deeper. Let's add some formatting here. The sub channel that we added, let's add it to the color. Okay, I see there are 4 different categories. I can see on the legend that we have government, institution, private, and retail. Now this looks a bit better with the millions also. I can see that retail in pharmacy has the highest amount of sales, and in terms of hospital, government hospital has the highest amount of drug sales. So sales by product category, done. Sales by channel, done. Now let's move to sales by region. If you remember, we had a latitude longitude field in the data set, and you can see it on the data pane. Let's drag and drop that in rows and columns. And on the marks tab, it will be set to automatic, but do set it to a map, right? And then you will have a country that you can, country, you can drive that to color. And boom, you see Germany and Poland are highlighted. These are the countries available. But the chart is not about just geography, right? You need sales. Where do you get sales from? Same way we got for the last 2. We take the sales, we add it in the label. Again, too huge a number, not good enough. Fields, sum of sales on the pane, numbers, convert to custom, remove the decimals, display units, 2 millions. And here we are done with the sale numbers for the country level. So now we can move ahead to 4th key metric, manager performance. Tracking manager performance, let's try something new. I mean, we can track it with a bar chart or a column chart. Let's try a pie chart where we show percentage sales made by the manager, just to add some variety to it, right? So I'll convert the marks pane to a pie. I'll add the manager name, manager, to the color, then sum of sales to the size. I'll make it the entire view so that I have the sale numbers, and at the same time we'll add the manager to the label so that we know which manager did what, and then the sum of sales to the label as well. Now, again, this number is too huge. I want to see percentages. In if 100 units were sold or if 100 units of sales were made, what percentage sales did Brittany, Alicia, Tracy, and James do? How to do that? Table calculations. We have been doing it all along in the videos, but we didn't give it a name, right? This is the name of these calculations, quick table calculations. So we go to the sum of sales, quick table calculations, percent of total, and boom, we can see Brittany Bold, one of the managers, did 31% of sales. That means all the others have done less than 25% of sales. So it's really nice. Now, let's move to the final key metric, sales team performance. We have seen the manager's performance, we have seen sales performance in every region, in by channel and by product category. Last variable, sales team performance. Now, let's first do the product class. I want to see sales team performance in each product class. Maybe one of the teams has cracked one class open, so that it will be good to know which team is lagging behind in which class, so that we improve that team by training, right? This will be something that the client will be interested in. So let's try that. We add product class to the columns, sum of sales to the rows, and we see a bar chart pop out. Now, I don't want a bar chart. Let's convert it to a circle. And since it's sales team performance, I'll add sales team to the color, right? And I'll make this an entire view, not just collapsed in itself. Now I can see different teams, what did they do? Let's add some data labels. As usual, the number is too huge to even look at. We right click, we go to format, we click on fields, go on sum of the sales, pane, and then in default we go to numbers. We switch from automatic to number custom, reduce the decimal places, and convert the display units to 1,000,000. And now I can clearly see what's happening in each of the sales teams. I can give a filter of sales team too, just in case anyone wants to be adventurous and just wants to see what kind of a, let's say you only want to see one sales team at one point in time. Let's give user an option, because Tableau is all about interactivity. So interactivity starts at home and in your own dashboards, right? So sales team, Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta. Sales team on the filter, Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta. If you deselect Alpha and Bravo, you only see the sales for Charlie and Delta. So you can compare the both. I can clearly see that Charlie team is lagging behind in most of the categories. Maybe they need some improvement. Maybe Delta team can help you. What are they doing differently that the Charlie team is not, right? Maybe they have poorer territories. Maybe their strategy is wrong, or maybe the strategy can be improved by just reallocating some of the training time. There are innumerable amount of variables that you can think about, but you are not the decision takers. You'll show this data to a decision taker and they will take decision on this information. So I select all of the sales team to show you the data, and this is your final key metric visualization. Now we move to creating a dashboard. Don't worry, there are innumerable ways to create a dashboard. If you feel out of these 6 visualizations, you can create something better or something that appeals more to create a decision out of, feel free to run with that one and add that to the dashboard. As per me, as per my experience, whatever I have seen in the dashboard community up until now, I have created a template that I feel will suit best to this product kit scenario, and these 6 charts will fit beautifully in that. So I'll add the tab called dashboard. If you see, we have the dashboard here, and in the dashboard video, we talked about what tiled and floating means. Now, in your project folder, in your case study folder, there will be a designed photo or a designed document that you can upload to Tableau on which you can add your visualizations. That has been created on a tool called Figma. It is a designer tool. I encourage you to learn about it, at least have some basic understanding of it so that you can design a basic background on Figma. If you don't know what Figma is, Don't worry, I'll show you what I have created, and you can start learning it on the back end so that you can create at least some basic visualizations. Sorry, not visualizations, basic backgrounds or templates that you can add to your visualizations. So we are on the dashboarding screen now. We'll keep it tiled because I want my design to get stuck wherever I promote it or wherever I upload it. So I'll click on an image, double click, and I'll insert image. I'll choose, it's called untitled. I'll click OK, and it is here. Now, if you see, it's coming up half of the screen. Why? Because the size is half. I'll go to the size panel, uncheck the maximum size, and I can immediately see my dashboard elongate, right? Perfect. But still my design is stuck on the top left corner. I need to center it. Let's do some more formatting. How to center it? So we'll right click here. We'll first do a fit image, and then I'll click on a center image. Now the design that I created on Figma, I have created some boxes, some rectangles, where I'll show some tilings, where I'll show some numbers, some graphs, and something else. So this, my template is ready because I believe this is one of the good templates that is acceptable in the industry. Now, let's start adding something, shall we? Sales by product. Before adding, by the way, let's convert from tile to floating because I would like to resize and format it at my will, as you would have seen in the previous video. The moment I move a view onto the dashboard, I notice a big flaw in my visualization. That my design is on a light green color, but my views are on a white background color. This doesn't go well at all. I need to make sure that the views I have or the visualizations I have are on the same base color. So what do I do? I cross all the views. I go back to each of the views. I'll come back to sales by product category. Right click on the detailed panel. Go to format. Go to color, default, worksheet color, and I'll select the same color on which I made the design on. Similarly, I'll go to sales by channel, same exercise. Right click, format, color, default, worksheet, and the color I made the design on. And I'll do it for remaining 4 worksheets, and I'll keep showing you what am I doing so that you get a habit of it as to how to do it. Click, worksheet, color, move ahead. Manager performance. Click, format, color, worksheet, and the color we built the design on. Finally, sales team performance. Right click, format, color, worksheet, select your color, and move ahead. Now we come back to the dashboard, right? So in the past 5 minutes, you would have noticed it's not an easy task to build a dashboard from scratch. It takes a lot of effort. And believe me, as a lead in my industry, I can see that it takes a lot of back and forth between team leads, managers about the designs of the dashboard. How should something look? How should something not look? So we really need to make sure that whatever we are designing, each team is aligned on that and each team knows what we are doing. Now, let's add a chart to the dashboard. So this is chart number 1. And now I see the color is complementing it well, right? I'll elongate it a bit, right? Sales by product category, and I can see, okay, this looks well. This is a good start, right? Let's add sales by channel. Perfect. We'll add it here. I'll elongate it again. Great. Sales by region. Let's add region somewhere here. For now, let's just remove the channel and add sales by region on the top. I'll move it around a bit. select from here, move around, reduce the size, increase the size, make sure it fits the design boxes, and we're good. Now the manager by sales performance. Let's add it here. It's a pie chart, so it should fit beautifully on the top left, on the top right corner. We add it here, expand it, and this works quite well. Manager performance, sales by region, sales by channel, sales by product category, right? Now, what are these three boxes for? These three look tiles to me, right? We can just add certain numbers here. So for that, let's create a sheet called total unique counts. What total unique counts? Let's say total unique counts for distributors, right? Or actually, let's go back to the data source and see which column we can use to create total unique counts. Distributors, we have not many. Maybe we can create product name. Let's create a product name distinct count. Okay, let's go to total unique counts, product name. Let's add it to text. Let's convert it to a measure and take a distinct count of it. So we have 240, and I would like to keep it in an entire view. Center align it. So I'll right click, I'll format, fields, count distinct, product name, number is fine, and I'll try again. Format, fields, count distinct, product name. Yep, here is the alignment. Rows, pane, default. Let's keep it at the middle. Let's keep it in the middle. Let's keep it in the middle. Let's get this header in the middle as well. Format title. Actually, edit title, not format title. I'll select it, center align, keep it, let's say 16. That works. Here, format data, view data. Oh, sorry, I should have clicked on format data. And we'll go to the views again. Here we do a center align and total unique counts is done. If you remember, our color should match. Color, sheet, worksheet, and the same green color, right? And I'll edit the title again to make sure it's bold. Okay. And now I can move the total unique counts to my dashboard. I'll close the formatting pane, and now I have total unique counts. I'll fix it here. And I can change the font size for 240 as well. So I'll go to the total unique count sheet. I'll click here. I'll go to format. I'll go to the fields, product name, alignment is fine. I want to go to the header is fine. Let's go to 15. Oops, I click something on it again. Let's go to the fields. Count distinct product name, access pane, font. Let's make it a 15. It's increasing, so we'll just make it a 15 as per the header as well, right? So it works here. We go back to the dashboard and I see something like this. So we can create 2 more tiles like this. It will be a repetitive format. One thing you must have noticed that I can clean this dashboard. So I'll clean this a bit. We can add a header to it, some icons to it, and make it a bit more beautiful. So I'll do that. One sales team analysis chart hasn't been used up until now. So maybe this is a good time to connect with the lead or managers and tell them that which of these charts actually you want to deprioritize. In many times, we might have 10, 20 different charts, but what are the action items that your client or your team or your managers are looking for is something you should effectively communicate and understand. So do have touch bases with them on a regular basis so that you know what's required at their end and you customize your analysis based on those requirements. As of now, I created one extra chart which I don't feel I should add until I get a clear communication that this is indeed required by the team. So I'll add the two more tiles, some headers, and I'll just skip to the part where I already have something like this built up so that you can get a feel of the data as to how a dashboard is made and how it can look like after putting a couple of hours into it post experience. So I moved to the Tableau workbook, which I have worked on before. Just give me a second. Yeah, and here it is. In this Tableau workbook, you can see I added a beautiful title to the dashboard. I added one of the filters where I can select my sales team. In this dashboard, I have chosen the sales team chart here because I wanted to add this instead of the sub-channel chart. And I combined the channel and sub-channel chart into one chart itself. So in this way, we could include all the 6 charts by combining it into 5 charts, right? So you can be clever around it. In this dashboard, I indeed was clever that I could find a way to do this. But on your end, you can choose any 4 metrics, or you can even remove the tiles and add another graph or visualization that helps you prove a point or helps you gather an insight that is invaluable to your team or to your client. I added a few icons which shows a pharmacy or a hospital. I added some documentation to it, some cart icons to it, and yeah, this is kind of ready to be shipped. But if you do notice, there are some things I missed out on, which my manager will give me a feedback on, like why are the data points not in millions? Why do they have unnecessary commas? Can you please change this? Can you please change the chart type? Can you please add extra data labels? Can you please align the titles on the tiles? So up until now, even on this dashboard on which I spent a couple of hours or 3-4 hours of my time post building everything, I'll still get a ton of feedback. And to be very honest, we should never be afraid of feedback. We should take that, jot it down in a checklist manner, fix it one by one, and you'll see why the feedback stands the way it is. Because if you are making a dashboard, you'll be so much absorbed into it or so much focused into it that you are bound to miss some minor formatting details. So it's always good to have someone check up on you. It's always good to have someone give honest feedback as to what is looking good, what is looking bad, and they can help you improve your visualizations to make sure that they are client ready or your team ready and are ready to deliver an impact. I hope you really like this case study. This data is very straightforward. You don't need to join anything. It's a one CSV file. You can load it, start making views on it, start building your dashboard with the formatting on it, start learning Figma if you're interested, and even try multiple iterations of these dashboards. And once you do that, reach out to someone who can QC it for you. QC here means quality control, quality check. If someone tells you this formatting looks off, again, go back, fix it, and then show it again. If they tell you something's off again, go back, fix it, share it again, and keep doing it until the dashboard reaches a point where you both agree, yeah, this is looking something nice. And then you can ship it ahead to your client or to your team and then be ready to receive all the accolades you can get. I hope you really like this course. I hope we can continue on this later on, but we now need to make sure that we move on. And if you have any doubts on this, please make sure to reach out to us and ask your doubts. Up until now, it has been a great pleasure. Thank you.